When it comes to the realm of investing, people have all kinds of different plans, approaches, and ideas, but the three things that I tell you in today's video will remain true no matter what Bitcoin's price climbs to. It could go to $65,000, it could go to $142,000, or it could even climb to $500,000, and these three things will remain true every step along the way. The caption on this tweet that I'm about to share is kind of a litmus test in and of itself. But what is said here is so vitally important, and I encourage you to play it a couple times if you need. So let's get to the tweet. This one is from @saidyoungelman, and he's quoting his guest on his show here, and the guest is David B. Cullum. And what he says here is, Bitcoin is designed to screw the people who have no idea why they own it. And I'm going to play the clip.
Bitcoin is designed to screw the people who have no idea why they own it. One of the characteristics of the guys who got stinking rich on Microsoft, stinking rich, the common denominators, they never sold. And the faint of heart are going to buy Bitcoin. They're going to panic. They're going to say, I wish I'd never done it. And then it'll go up again. And you have to marry an investment. If it's a really good investment, you got to marry it. People say, don't marry an investment. Of course you should marry an investment. If it's the right idea, it didn't become a bad idea just because the price. Buy something you're willing to hang on to if it goes south.
Here are the 3 points that I'm going to expand on. 1. You absolutely 100% to truly grasp and appreciate what Bitcoin is, need to, first and foremost, understand what money is. My definition, Dell's Hodl Sapiens definition that I have kind of boiled it down to over the many, many thousands of hours that I've poured over this subject, is that money is time and energy abstracted into something that we can exchange with each other. But we can interact with money, and money takes all sorts of different kinds of forms. So at the very beginning of your Bitcoin journey, you absolutely 100% need to understand what money is. The second thing that is so vitally important is to understand why a world working from a sound money, a hard money, would be so much better than the one that we have now. When there are some people that can make money and other people that have to work for that exact same money, that's a big problem. The problem is that the same people that get to print the money are the same people passing laws that say that you and I have to do X, Y, and Z. And that is a really big problem. So to reiterate, point number 2 is understanding why the world would benefit, humanity as a whole would benefit from a hard, sound money that cannot be manipulated by any person. And point 3 directly relates to what I was just saying, but has to do with Bitcoin specifically. It is imperative to understand why the 21 million hard cap is so important. That's point 2, and how Bitcoin cannot be manipulated by anyone. It doesn't matter what a nation state wants. It doesn't matter what an individual wants. It doesn't matter what any person or group of persons wants. Bitcoin cannot be changed. The 21 million hard cap on Bitcoin is one of the things that makes it so vitally important. It might be one of the most important aspects of it, but that hard cap is what keeps it a hard, sound money that nobody, I don't care who they are, can go and futz with, go and change and tweak so that they can get some more. Nobody on the planet, no group of persons, no nation state can do that. Those are the 3 things that are so absolutely important when it comes to Bitcoin. Understanding what money is, understanding why the world needs a hard, sound money, and 3, pertaining directly to Bitcoin, why 21 million will never be changed. And one of the best places to get a much deeper education about Bitcoin is the people over at the Bitcoin Way. You could think of them as Jedi Masters. And if you are a Padawan or even a Jedi, you're going to want to get some counseling from the Jedi Masters. Whether it's to begin or further your Bitcoin education, the IT pros over at the Bitcoin Way can absolutely help you no matter where you're at on your Bitcoin journey. I don't sit here and tell you that you should absolutely get into Bitcoin. I can't say that because I don't know what your life situation is like. What I can tell you is a very good use of your time is to learn about money as a whole thing, because money affects all of us. So it's a good idea to learn about something that affects every person on the planet. In this amusing clip that I'm going to play, Michael Saylor talks about the idea of going all in on something.
Are you all in on the chair?
I am all in on the chair.
Like the point really is you put on one pair of glasses, you've got one pair of AirPods right now. You're looking at me through one screen. you're using one microphone. That's a one microphone. Like, you trust it?
Yeah.
Is that conviction? Seems kind of scary. Why don't you diversify? Why don't you use 10 microphones? The point really is, things in your life, do you drive in 10 cars at the same time or one car at one time? Do you drive down one street? Aren't you afraid that you're driving down one street? Do you take a different way? You know? So my point really is, if you're you get a one airplane, are you convicted? You put your entire family on the one airplane, aren't you afraid? Ultimately, if you're a rational individual, when you use knives, do you have copper knives, wooden knives, steel knives, aluminum knives, rubber band knives, diamond knives, because you're afraid to commit to the right knife?
I've done hundreds, if not thousands of hours of research into Bitcoin, and I am convinced that there has never been a better money in the entirety of the human civilization. It's kind of like Saylor makes the point there. I'm all in on this one thing because this is the only thing that makes sense. I don't trade in my car, or I don't try to get a new job every 3 weeks because maybe this is a better one. No, I found the one that works for me and it continues to work, and so I make the absolute best of it that I can. And detractors might say, but Del, you have no idea. The cup coin, it does all the things that Bitcoin does, and then it does this other whiz-bang stuff as well. And I would say, but that doesn't matter, because when you do the research, when you understand what Bitcoin is, when you understand why thousands, millions of other people have seen the same thing, you can't replicate that. You can only have digital scarcity one time. Everything else is a copy of that. That's just how it is. That can't be undone. There's only one internet. Are we all in on the one internet? I guess so, but there isn't really another internet to use. This last clip is from a channel called Alpha Investments, and what the individual, Rudy, who I'm going to play here, primarily talks about is Magic the Gathering cards. He talks about other card games as well, but he's primarily an investor in Magic the Gathering. What he talks about here pertains all the way back to where we started, with the marrying yourself to an idea. Take a listen.
Like, yeah, we had that in the big NVIDIA stock move in the last, 90 days? And the amount of patrons of people like, oh, we just see NVIDIA, oh my God. Yeah, it's an amazing thing. And the thing that people understand is, if you look back from the day NVIDIA went public, there were stretches of years to that company's life cycle that the stock never went up. And actually, there's stretches of time where the stock was negative for multiple years in a row.
Super important.
And I'm going to say it to you all.
Super
the
important.
Same way I ask myself when I'm in the bathroom looking at myself. Are you really going to tell me that you're going to hold XYZ stock for 3, 4, 5 years and lose money every single year, and you're still going to leave it?
Are you?
You're trying to pitch to me that Apple stock for $1 in the 80s. You're trying to tell me you're going to hold Apple stock, adjusted for pre-stock splits. You would have held Apple stock for 5 or 10 years and lost money every year and never made a dime for 10 years of your life. And you're trying to tell me, oh, I should have bought it back then. Human nature, I don't believe you, because human nature dictates that if something stays bad for so long, everyone has a breaking point and a point where they just say, what am I doing?
Because I have not met, or have I heard of, a single person that truly understood what Bitcoin is and said, yeah, I put in the 1,000 hours. I really get it. I truly do. But, I'm going to start investing in copper ingots. I just think that it's way more interesting. I might get some cotton candy stocks in there if I can find them. And there's some new wacky coins coming out because that seems interesting. And I think it's a way better long-term prospect. I haven't heard anything remotely like that at all. Once people see the orange light of Bitcoin and they realize that the choice really is fiat or slavery, the choice makes itself for you. You've already subscribed, right? Right? All right, good. No, I'm just making sure. That's what I thought. Okay. And liked? You liked? Commented? Okay, good. Just making sure. Now, it's time for you to check out my video where I talk about the connection between Bitcoin and gamers. That one's right here. Give that a watch.